Let's skip the long-winded story. I never had a girlfriend until I was 20. I constantly felt lonely and I thought every single girl I liked was the one. Blah, blah, blah. The worst part about getting a girlfriend is the anxiety and the doubt and stuff. And that anxiety and doubt will make your progress slower than a geriatric turtle. So here's how to actually get a girlfriend as fast as possible and how to remove that anxiety and doubt. Let's start with how to actually get a girlfriend. You do this by creating systems that will improve the skills that you're lacking, because that's all you're lacking, skills. And if that sounds like basic advice, that's because it is. I know for me, the knowledge I lacked was not in how to get a girlfriend. It was how to stick to that process of following the systems and how to enjoy it more. I also wanted it to happen faster, and sure, there were little optimizations I could have made in the process to make that faster, but the main thing that would have made it faster would have been enjoying it more so that I was more consistent and actually having a clearly defined system. So actually trusting the process of like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this thing every week. I'm gonna go talk to these people. I'm gonna like start doing a sport so I can meet people. I'm going to go on a dating app, whatever. And you know you better than I know you, so you know what system is going to work better for you, because you know what skills you're lacking. You know if you're not meeting enough people, if your conversation skills suck. So once you've got a system, just follow it. Sometimes less is more. Make sure you can actually follow it. So now you know how to get a girlfriend. But my biggest regret was not that I was doing it wrong and it took longer than it needed to. No, it was that I suffered every single minute where I didn't have a girlfriend. And if I could go back, that is the thing I would change. And it's not just that this anxiety is going to make you less happy. It's going to ruin your chances. Your self-worth is lower because you think you have no relationships, because you're being like, when I have a girlfriend, I'll be worthy, but right now I've got nothing. You don't have nothing, you have all this stuff. So your low confidence is going to mess up your chances. Your anxiety is going to mess up your progression, your chances, and your consistency in that habit is also going to be messed up, because you're not going to be able to stick to the system because you're just going to be unhappy. You're going to be thinking it's not working, and so you're going to give up. And so those are like the biggest issues that you're going to face that will stop you from getting a girlfriend, and they all stem from this anxiety and doubt. So removing it is very, very important. More important perhaps than how to actually get a girlfriend. And so here's what I'd tell my past self. I reckon everyone in about 5 years of fully locking in can get a girlfriend, no matter your starting point. And so in 5 years, it's unreasonable you don't have a girlfriend. That's just some random made up thing by me. I don't know if that's true. Like, I'm just one guy. I'm basing it off just my own experience. But that's what I reckon, 5 years. If you want to be safe, 8 years. So now you have a partial answer to that terrible question of when will I get a girlfriend? Will I ever get a girlfriend? Realistically, if you lock in, you'll get it in under 5 years. So like, that's not soon, that's not the answer you want, but at least you've got some answer. And realistically, 5 years, it isn't too far away. It's not life ruining, it's just moment ruining. And that's a pretty weak argument, to be honest. That doesn't solve many issues, but what does is realizing that you actually have a lot more meaningful relationships than you realize. Let me explain. Imagine you're hiking up a mountain, right? And we all know that analogy. Like, you think you're at the top, you see a peak, and then you get there and there's another peak behind it. And so you're not at the top yet. Well, when it comes to getting a girlfriend, you're not trying to get to the top. Yes, you are trying to get to the top, but you're getting to the top ultimately to experience the views. You're getting a girlfriend not to get a girlfriend to feed your validation and your ego. You're getting a girlfriend to experience having a girlfriend. And so when you get to these little peaks along the way, which you think are the top, there's going to be an incredible, beautiful, breathtaking view from that peak, looking down. Look at how far you've come. Look at all that, the sunset over there, the sprawling cities. You're gonna get a very good view. It won't be as good as the view at the top, but it'll be a pretty good view. And so you've got to appreciate that view, not just go like, oh no, I'm not at the top, because you're literally doing this for the views. Only person who's not doing this for the views is me. I'm not doing YouTube for the views. Anyway, you've got people in your life who you enjoy talking to and who you look forward to seeing. I can guarantee that. You have people who you enjoy talking to. Don't even debate me on that. Like, I'm sorry if you don't, but like, you do. And so that is just a lesser degree of what you'll have when you get a girlfriend. And if you, for example, are talking to a girl and you really like her, you're going to look forward to seeing her because you like her. That's going to give you some meaning. It's going to give you some drive in life. It's also going to be beneficial for your personal development because you're going to gain more experience. You're going to improve your skills. And so it's a very worthwhile experience to have. Now, if at the end of that she rejects you or she isn't interested in you, well, you just had this magnificent view, you've gotten to a peak. It wasn't the top peak, but it was a peak. So don't discount that as a failure. It's not success or failure, it's a gradient, and everything on the gradient is a success in some form because it leads to development. So you have lots of good relationships in your life, and even the ones that don't end up working out, they were worth it, they were good. And what I would recommend doing, like after this video, is writing out a little friendship tree, relationship tree, whatever you want to call it. You're just getting a piece of paper basically, and you're drawing out a tree, and you're writing the names of all the people and all the groups who give you some kind of meaning. And what I mean by meaning is that you look forward to seeing them, or you enjoy talking to them. That's as simple as it is. All of this stuff, when you actually write it down, you'll probably realize how many you have, and you'll be more grateful for them. This is also a great exercise for making friends because you don't forget about people and you remember to follow up on the people who you are meeting rather than constantly trying to meet new people. But that's a whole another point. This is a very, very effective thing to do for gratitude around the relationships you have. And the good thing about this is just going to keep getting better. You're going to keep getting more of these. And so you're making progress that way. It's not like I have a girlfriend or I don't have a girlfriend and there's no in between. Now you've got like a clear progression. And so that's going to make you way, way, way happier. So this is kind of an abundance mindset. You have lots of relationships and meaning in your life. The abundance mindset also goes into there is an abundance of potential partners for you. I think an issue that people have is that they don't know exactly all the possible qualities that would make someone a good partner for them. We're basing this off our past experience basically, and maybe a little bit of theory, but our theory is not very accurate, to be honest. And every time I meet someone new, I'm expanding my scope of like what I think is now like what I'm looking for in a partner basically. And I'm also ruling out some things, but overall, my scope is expanding. And so what I'm trying to get at here is that when I'm thinking about my chances of getting a girlfriend or something, I'm evaluating them incorrectly most of the time because I'm thinking I need someone with these characteristics, these traits. But really there's all these other traits which I just don't know I'm attracted to yet. And I don't know are good for me yet. And so whatever my judgment is of how likely I am to get in a relationship, it's actually higher because there's more people out there who are right for me. So the saying there's plenty of fish in the sea is actually kind of more correct than you think because you think you're only fishing for like mackerel or something, but you like tuna as well. You just don't know it yet. And so there is a lot more fish than you think. On top of creating that friendship tree, which you're going to look at every now and then, you should be reflecting after you socialize. When you socialize and something doesn't go well, you know, you talk to a girl and she just wasn't interested. It was a bit of an awkward conversation or whatever. You need to reflect on it because if you don't reflect and write stuff down, your mind is going to be replaying all the bad stuff. When you reflect, and it's going to be replaying it all the time as well, just whenever you have space in your mind. It'll just fill up with negativity. But if you write stuff down, if you go, well, okay, yeah, I didn't do that well, but what am I going to improve on next time? Well, now I've got a plan to fix it. What did I do well? Because there's something that you've done well and you're just not giving yourself credit for it. So that's lowering your self-worth. Maybe you're uncertain about whether you should keep talking to her or whether she likes you and stuff. If you just write it down quickly make a decision in like 2 minutes or something, what should I do next? What is the next step? That is much better than constantly letting these negative thoughts and this anxiety play on your mind 24/7. So just take 5 minutes to write a couple of things down and it will save you hours of worrying. And then the last thing to do is to find another purpose and another flow that isn't getting a girlfriend. Purpose and flow, I think, are two different things. Day to day, what keeps me going is just flow. I have a habit. I wake up every morning, I go for a walk and I plan a video and it's really nice. I enjoy it because I enjoy the problem solving of figuring out how do I make a good video. I've been going for a year now, still haven't figured it out, but I'll get there. And I really like just the flow. I have work to immerse myself in. On top of that though, I need something where when I zoom out of the flow, what am I doing this for? I need a meaning. For me, that is, well, just enjoying the flow. Like I enjoy this, so I don't need some elaborate life meaning if I'm enjoying what's happening right now. And it's only going to get better because I'm grinding. Well, I'm also motivated by just challenging myself and building a really good life. So that's part of my life meaning, is building a better life. And on top of that, I feel nice to be able to help you guys, to be able to help the relationships around me. And I think plenty of people's life meaning is just having fun. But my entire life meaning is not centered around one person or the absence of one person. And the way that you develop this, in my opinion, it's really something that you have to trust the process. So you start by working really hard at something or trying new stuff. And then once you've been doing it a while, it will become meaningful and you will hit that flow. But straight away, you're not really going to get anything out of it. So straight away, right now, if a lot of your mind is occupied around your social life and stuff, there's no fix straight away other than just working really hard at another area of your life. And after maybe a couple months, maybe even like half a month or 2 weeks of like really locking in, you'll start to enjoy locking in on that. You'll start to gain more flow and more purpose from it, whatever it is. So how you get a girlfriend is, yes, you go out. You try and talk to certain people. You go on dating apps if that is the strategy you decide to do. You try to make friends as well, because that helps. Whatever your strategy is, you've got a strategy in mind. You do something that is actually achievable, sometimes less is more, and you stick to it. And then you do all these other things to reduce the anxiety. You journal, you make a friendship tree. You think about how meaningful all the other relationships in your life are. You think about how, like, you will realistically do this in the next 5 years, which is not too long. You have these other areas of your life which you can return to if that area isn't doing well. And when you do that, this is going to unlock that system, is going to speed up a lot. And so that, again, will make you even less anxious because now you're progressing faster. And so it all comes down to having a system, following it, and practicing your gratitude, your appreciation, all these positive mindsets. So that's all I've got for you today. Subscribe and have an amazing day.